Chapter 3: Flicker of Shadows. The sun was high above the academy as students gathered on the training grounds, buzzing with excitement. Today was supposed to be another ordinary day, until Naruto appeared, standing quietly at the edge of the field, eyes focused with intensity. Despite being the class's silent outcast, Naruto's presence felt heavy, as if he was part of something greater, unknown to his peers. He hadn't spoken much, his interactions sparse, but the growing aura around him could no longer be ignored. Today, that would change. Kakashi, hidden in the shade of a nearby tree, observed. He was interested in this boy, more than he was letting on. Naruto's quiet brilliance had begun to surface in subtle ways, particularly with the body flicker jutsu, and Kakashi, known for his keen observation, had noticed. The teacher Iruka called for the class to pair up for today's jutsu practice, but Naruto, as usual, didn't join any group. Instead, he stood alone on the far side of the training field, his body unusually still. His eyes flickered, watching everyone, analyzing, calculating. Kakashi's gaze narrowed. "Let's see what you've got, Naruto." Without warning, Naruto vanished. No puff of smoke, no sound of movement, just gone. A moment later, he appeared in the middle of the training grounds, directly behind Iruka, startling him. The teacher turned, blinking in confusion, but before he could register what had happened, Naruto disappeared again. This time, he reappeared on top of a nearby tree branch, his posture calm and collected. His mastery over the body flicker jutsu had improved drastically. What had started as a basic teleportation technique had now become something refined, almost elegant. Kakashi watched with silent admiration. Naruto wasn't just using the jutsu to travel short distances anymore. He was manipulating it, refining it with precision. The distance he covered, the speed at which he moved, it was remarkable for someone his age. Kakashi could sense how Naruto was stretching his chakra control, shaping the technique into something more advanced, more deadly. The rest of the class, however, remained oblivious. To them, Naruto had just vanished and reappeared, nothing more than an unexpected surprise. But Kakashi knew better. This is similar to how Shisui of the Shunshin used to move. Naruto's flicker continued, shifting from point to point on the field, moving like a shadow across the village. For a split second, Kakashi saw something else, the flicker of another shinobi, a memory buried in his mind. Shisui Uchiha, one of the most elusive and feared shinobi, known for his mastery of the body flicker technique. And now, Kakashi was witnessing a glimpse of that in Naruto. Naruto flickered once more, landing silently behind Kakashi's tree, and for the first time, their eyes met. Kakashi, with a quiet nod of approval, acknowledged what he had seen. "Interesting," Kakashi murmured to himself before stepping away, leaving Naruto to his thoughts. He would have to keep a closer eye on this boy. Later that evening, Konoha Library. The village was quiet under the moonlit sky, the streets mostly empty as Naruto made his way to one of his secret places, the library. Naruto wasn't known for spending time here, but in the last few months, the library had become his sanctuary. Hidden deep within its archives were scrolls on forgotten techniques, tactics, and strategies of famous shinobi. And tonight, Naruto had a purpose. His body flicker technique was good, but not perfect. Something was missing. As he scanned the shelves, his eyes fell on an old, dust-covered scroll. He pulled it free, wiping the dust away to reveal its title, Shisui of the Shunshin, the Art of the Flicker. He had heard stories of Shisui, the infamous Uchiha, whose mastery over the body flicker had made him almost untouchable in combat. His technique was said to be more than just speed. It was a movement of intent, blending illusion and reality. Naruto sat down, unrolling the scroll. The illustrations were detailed, outlining how Shisui not only moved rapidly, but also used the flicker to deceive his enemies, leaving afterimages in his wake, creating confusion and disorientation. It wasn't just about moving fast, it was about creating a mirage, tricking the senses. For hours, Naruto pored over the scroll, his mind piecing together every fragment of information. Shisui's approach wasn't just about the jutsu, it was about reading his opponents, using their own perceptions against them. Each flicker was calculated, placing him in blind spots, forcing his enemies to react to illusions instead of his real position. As the moonlight filtered through the library window, Naruto closed the scroll and stood up. The next step in mastering the body flicker wasn't about speed, it was about strategy, deception, and unpredictability. This is what I need, Naruto thought to himself as he left the library, his footsteps silent in the night. I need to master the flicker like Shisui did, to use it not just as a tool, but as a weapon. The next day, training grounds. Naruto stood at the edge of the field again, but this time, his mind was focused on something new. He took a deep breath, replaying the techniques he had read about. He would need more than just speed today. He needed to blur the lines between reality and illusion. In a flash, he vanished. This time, when Naruto flickered, there was something different. He left behind a shimmering afterimage, a faint shadow of his presence. His classmates, who had grown used to his rapid movements, were left confused, turning their heads to follow an illusion while the real Naruto moved elsewhere. Even Iruka couldn't keep up. The boy was everywhere and nowhere, a blur of motion that couldn't be tracked. Kakashi, once again hidden in the distance, watched closely. He's already starting to apply Shisui's tactics. His growth is startling. He felt a strange sense of pride and a twinge of worry. Naruto was progressing faster than anyone had expected, and Kakashi couldn't help but wonder what the boy was capable of once he truly unlocked his potential. Later that week, live combat training. The rustling of leaves echoed in the otherwise quiet training grounds. Kakashi and Naruto stood facing each other, the air thick with tension. Naruto's eyes were sharp, focused, the intensity of his training clear in his gaze. Kakashi pulled his forehead protector down, revealing both of his eyes. Naruto, we're taking your flicker training up a level. We'll spar, but with one condition, you need to push your body flicker as far as possible. If I can still follow your movements without my Sharingan, you're not fast enough. Naruto nodded silently, his face calm. He was ready. Begin! In an instant, Naruto flickered from view, his movements sharp and rapid. He darted across the field, his speed almost unnatural, but Kakashi followed him, his keen eyes locking onto Naruto's blurred form. Kakashi began offering tips, his voice steady but firm. Too direct, Naruto. Use more angles. Naruto immediately adjusted, flickering in sharp zigzags, his afterimages causing brief moments of hesitation in Kakashi's tracking. Kakashi countered, predicting Naruto's movement, but his voice continued with advice. Don't rely only on speed. Think about where I'll move. Place your real body where you'll catch me off guard. Naruto's response wasn't verbal, but his actions showed that he had absorbed every word. He flickered again, this time with more purpose, using the terrain to his advantage. He created 3 afterimages, all moving in different directions, and Kakashi narrowed his eyes, hesitating for a split second before striking at what seemed to be Naruto. But it wasn't him. The real Naruto reappeared behind Kakashi, his kunai stopping just inches from Kakashi's back. Kakashi smirked under his mask. Not bad. You've improved in reading my movements. Naruto stood still, listening intently to Kakashi's next set of instructions. You're getting faster, but remember, the key is deception. Speed is only one part of it. Make your enemy doubt their instincts. And soon, Kakashi paused, his tone shifting slightly. I'll need to use my Sharingan to even see you. Naruto's eyes flashed with determination, though he said nothing. His quiet nature belied the fire that was steadily growing inside him. He flickered once more, silent, swift, and deadly. Kakashi's smile faded into a more serious expression. At this rate, you'll be able to move like Shisui before long. And with that, the training continued, Naruto flickering through the trees like a ghost, his movements faster, sharper, and more refined with every passing moment. Soon, he would surpass the expectations of everyone in the village.